On point. On point.
Nice, Abi.
Again, let's do it again.
On point. On point. On point.
On point.
God damn it. On point.
On point.
Yeah, man. On point.
We're just saying something right now, and I want to switch gears very short, because we have to talk about, because of your upbringing, of the dating aspect. Then and now, because why am I saying this? Because I think a lot of things that we are talking about is based on having a union.
Yes.
We don't even date.
See, my brother.
Seriously, we don't even date. So if you don't date, obviously you're not married. How can you have a union in order to be fruitful?
I'm the perfect example for this theory.
Please say your market and tell your story.
I'm going as far as saying I got to a point where I understood now. 2017 to 18, I went to I counted 14 weddings, I think. 14. Why did I go to 14 weddings? When I was in Nigeria, 2016. Where I like Nigeria, always, where you are, Nigeria still, I was having a conversation with men, officers, and they were telling me that, see, my brother, we sat down, we were like brothers then. So he told me, if you want to marry, attend weddings, and that was the incentive he gave me. I was like, that's the point. So the first one I went to, I thought, yeah, it's true. Because I was thinking, I'm likely to see somebody who is in a similar dilemma like myself. Let me tell you, at the end, it's a lie, nothing came out there. But it's also because, like he's saying, there's a generation, I think, that doesn't even know how to date anymore.
Call them by the name. Which generation?
The generation, I think, we're talking of generation starting from 85, I want to say, I don't want to remove my own, 85 to 2000, let's say to 90, I want to say to the 2000s, where our parents also have a role to play, because when I grew up, I didn't hear brother and sister all the time, especially with girls. No girl was my sister, but I saw that we grew up like siblings at some point.
But to cut that short, to cut that. Nowadays, everybody is calling themselves brother and sister, but they're cleaning their mouths with each other.
That's why.
I need to stop that shit. But that's beautiful to me.
That's why.
Kiss him.
That's why it's wrong to call somebody brother and sister, because if you use that term now, obviously your mind already knows that it's just. But I think. I see it from my Austrian friends. Number one, you ask the dating pattern. When I was of the age of having, let's say, a female companion, and all my friends said, okay, you know what, let's go to Kino. Kino that time was, I forgot, one of the 40th Kino or something. And don't forget, I always had to bring a guy to that time. Yeah. So now I'm going to Kino. They expected me bringing a Nigerian girl. Now where would I bring her from? But I can't ask his mom to tell his sister to, it's not done. But that's not the thing. So now I'm showing up, no girl. Then they did not think, okay, I have a friend, Sabina or something. That wasn't. That's how the interracial wasn't a thing that Austrians entertain. This is what I'm trying to say. So it's not even so. But what I'm giving you is that as I got older, I saw that, okay, the more I saw. If this was, I met girls from the Caribbean islands and so on and so forth, and that was the ones I saw. I upsetted some Austrian girls that were now willing to date. But at my point, I'm like, you date your Austrian guy now. So what I'm saying is that
there's nothing wrong with
he has a point here saying that building, but the building didn't come from the elders telling me. It was me just saying, yeah, I have to, this is where I'm going to. They say bleiben der Nest. But the building comes from how at home already. Prince, how are you? What's that something's name? They're doing a birthday party. We have to go there. Now, the parents will now say, Prince is, arrange it small for you. Not to say that you should marry her, but gladly showing you that this girl now, who of our parents are doing this? None. It's often this. But I'm telling you, but it comes from home. It comes from home. It comes from home,
but I don't know.
Austrian parents.
My dad is different. My dad is like, you see that she's
no. Thank you. God bless you. His dad. I'm honest. His dad was also the one telling me that topic. Sit down, and he was showing me two candidates.
All the time.
But like he's saying now, no. I think it was the only two I remember of. Because the third one. Which one was the third one?
Which one?
They're married now, so I don't want to. But one's married at least now. But I could not tell him that this one now is seeing so and so. You understand? Like he's saying. No. But I liked it. But I was thinking, why only his Popsy? Because like there are many ladies we haven't met yet.
Because he's a real G.
Shout out to my daddy though.
But think about it. There are many ladies we haven't seen, and when we see them, I don't blame them. They go to 19th district. They live there. They meet. See, all of us. See, our Yugoslavian, Austrian friends, are they praising us because we are just giving those ladies to them on the platter? Think about it. Because they will meet them and they are the ones actually making them wife material.
And white men are getting the taste of black women. This is a white boy summer, I swear to God.
So but the thing is, it's because and let's not forget they have they have the handicap because their parents is still the obstacle. But yet we don't. So one young lady once told me, because I was somewhere, I was at a friend's place. I know somebody there, and anyway. He has an Austrian wife. It's quite short. And she was like, yeah, again, he has an Austrian wife. I'm like, yeah, but I told her, listen, he might have, but I'm like, yo, that should be not closure because you don't know how they met. But ask yourself, how would you have met him? Because the thing is, I'm always asking those ladies that complain, how would you have met that guy? Because you already say in Vienna, guys are not Cristiano, So when you go and meet Cristiano, will Cristiano see you? Why? Because when you say London boys, French boys, I know I can see what they are trying to say. But are they really saying that we cannot get to that point? Because everything, obviously, like he said before, game is often how you present it. Mm-hmm. Now, if we don't have any means to present a proper game, So because I also know that women also like to, cut themselves to the occasion. If there's a wedding now, you know what's going to happen with women now. How do we turn up? So I'm trying to say that this is where we can improve, definitely, the dating game. And also we have to be, I'm not saying...
But at the same time, it's like, back then, the black guys did not give you a chance like that. No, seriously, they did not give you a chance.
Actually, I didn't have the chance to pretend him actually.
With your innocent mind, you're like, I love you. I want to be.
Why you want to traumatize?
I want to build with you. But then obviously things happen. You started becoming more of a bad boy like Ifwa. And then now that she's ready, now you are going to do her dirty.
But I'm good now.
So
I never maximize my potential.
No, none of us.
30% verwendet.
No, it's good.
But am I lying?
So
I get
you're lying.
Like
But the thing is, a good person, please say it in camera. Apologize to me.
I can always say it behind the camera.
But now, actually, also what I see is, of course, I got older and I met women from everywhere. I'm honestly everywhere. And I always realized that no matter the encounter, if she already has a boyfriend, husband, whatever, she would have recommended me somehow. Mm-hmm. Like, kept me like, oh, I have a friend, no worry. Even now, recently I met somebody, she told me that, yeah, I have a friend, and introduced me on an occasion. Like, cool. How often does it happen? I'm just asking it because the black market, women-wise, it's not for me. I'm too old.
That's the next issue.
They treat me like a pervert already. So I said,
you're the uncle.
I'm the uncle now. I'm like
God
pervert now. So I release it. But it's good that they know that this one is no go, so the other ones are go. But the point is, do the ones that are available, let's say that are possible, like man like Desmond, things like, do they, even though he might talk to one, she might say, sorry Desmond, I'm already dating a prince. Don't want to put him in harm's way. Yeah, and but wait, that's what, because these girls have girlfriends. Not all are,
It's true,
outside. So some that are not outside, let them link up with Desmond. Do they do that? That's what I would have liked to ask the ladies. Do they think, okay, I have a friend in Denmark, she's complaining that Danish men are not serious. Will she say that I have a friend in Austria, his name is Desmond? Check his part. I think this is what I'm now saying. It comes from, I want to say home, because I know I was in Yugoslavian households, even in Jewish households, the parents play a big role. the way they entertain the young boy and girls, you know, they will say, no problem, bring him to... The best parents are the ones that say, bring him to my house. Are the best parents. Well, you know that they are giving her the comfort now to say, okay, he's coming, and they are also forcing him to present himself. How often does it happen in an African household? I mean, I saw a post recently that said, some parents, I mean, I don't like those posts because it's generalizing, especially when they want to talk about Nigerian parents and they say African parents. But how often does it happen that, we know his dad, but I don't know, does your dad ask you, my son, I just came back from wherever, I saw one young lady, my so-and-so's daughter, talk to her. How often does that happen?
Actually, my uncle did that thing.
Your uncle did that? Very good. That's what I'm saying. But
to do it.
you know, but
That's
this is something
a
that
good question. Could you actually trust your parents to actually find a woman for you?
it's when it's too late now. They want to.
No, could you trust your parents?
Yeah, it's hard. I'm not sure. I'd like to say yes, but I'm not sure because I'm the females have damaged me. I'm damaged good.
Why are you crying?
No.
Why again?
No, it's hard. Relax. It's hard to just say yes because I think there is a side of me that my parents weren't or haven't seen. Therefore, it's hard to say yes because I think that part needs to be factored in a partner of choice.
Would you trust more your mom or your dad?
I would have went for my pops. I trust him. I trust my pops.
Nah, the reason why I have to take a moment to consider an answer is because these are two different people, and I see what
Your mom has?
my mom has and values, and I assume to know what my dad has and values. But look,
He said assume.
you gotta be smart with your words. Yeah? So now, because I talk way more with my mom, and there are certain things I can get answers from my mom. But the reason why saying my dad would make more sense is because he knows what it is a man should get from a woman.
Thank you.
You can't be silly.
Thank you.
I can't go my mom for this and that because she will see things a little differently. My dad will see something that he thinks a man should have in a woman, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing, man.
But just to add to what you guys were talking about earlier, like women not recommending their friends to the other boys. Now in this case, the boys would have to do this job themselves. Like, okay, you rejected me.
So I'm chopping your
Now
friends. Two of them.
it's not like
Two
no,
for
no,
one.
and that's not even what I'm trying to say. Like, you rejected me.
Yeah.
I don't know you have this friend. I saw your friend.
Even if I know, why are
I'm
you
just saying,
limiting yourself?
no. Let's say,
Why are you limiting yourself?
No,
She
I'm
didn't
not
want
limiting.
you.
I'm not
She
limiting.
didn't want you, and her friends
I'm not
are,
limiting. I'm
are
listening.
snacks.
The thing is,
I'm hurt.
It's hurt. Let him.
now I'm just trying to
I'm like
let them know in
Superman.
an understandable way.
Yeah.
Like, I saw someone else and I slid in her DMs, and then you now went to her like, this guy asked me out. It's a ticket. Don't give him a
But my
chance.
brother-
See, this is what I'm telling you.
But that's
Don't
true.
give him a chance.
Look, this is what I'm
Well,
telling you
women
guys.
don't do that.
and then imagine you try to.
Yeah.
No, but
But imagine you try to talk to 5 people and they manage to know each other.
let me give you a different angle. Yeah,
You shouldn't care.
yes, thank you.
Shoot
But
your
also
shot.
see it from that angle. Yeah, I was going from the best case scenario where I was just saying that women like to tell me, I'm not saying me because I don't generalize again, that no proper man or whatsoever, what so forth. Yeah. And then I asked them, but how is your dating rate, and how do you date? So you can for you to say that, because if you just date one guy and he's a mess, it was a mess. How long did it for you to date the next guy? I was trying to say that. See,
Can I give you a counter question to that?
Yeah.
Or a question to that statement?
yeah, I'm listening.
Because man has been tested and is trusted in the street. No. What's there is that if someone makes, or if a girl makes that kind of statement, ask her if she has a brother, which of her 5 friends, now she's having a hard time, which of her 3 friends she can say will be good matches. Let's even take away match, like, oh, she would fit your brother perfectly. But which of your 3 friends would make fantastic girlfriends to your brother?
Thank you.
Do
I
you
was
see that
trying to get there. We especially.
You have to stop pointing fingers.
I'm careful with the term black. That's why I'm careful because of for some people it now activates a stereotype. Yeah. That's why I said Yugoslavians and others, because I see it in them and I've been there. Let me not say what I have seen, but I know that they're not better off ethically with what they do at times and how they hurt themselves. But at the end of the day, there's always, if they have, I want to say, they know what friendship is when they have friendship. So you see Milan or whoever, whatever the name is, I don't know, stereotypical Dejan, having a Christina with J as a friend, grew up with, and she knows the fuckery he can do. But yet still, when time has come, and let's say he meets somebody, because luckily there are many, she will not say, remember the domains. No, she will be happy for you now. Finally, you have changed your ways. Finished. In our case, though, I don't know why. Characteristically, you now see what you're saying. Suddenly, like me now, I had a situation where I was thinking, okay, I sat down, I was having a conversation. I was in one of those gatherings they claim, community gathering, but at the end of the day, I ended up being the uncle and the purpose. But anyway, I was there just trying to be, communicative, because I saw young people sitting there. I still felt, why can't I talk to them? And they were just scattered east and west. I said, okay, sit down, have a conversation. And I realized that one person just come in, tell her how old you are. I'm like, okay. I told my age and I was thinking, yeah, what for? I did it, she said, okay. And I was like, now? No, it's cool. I'm like, madam, I'm thinking, but I felt something pushed her to come and, let me say, spoil market. But there was no market to spoil.
Yeah.
But my thing was also having the conversation.
Because homeboy won't sell it.
So I was having a conversation just based on, I have met her before, how are you doing? And now thinking, this is my thing now, because I was the only one doing that. Thinking, wait, no problem. When we did Lollipop, for instance, that was one of the basics that we were looking for. Interaction. The same way we met it in go somewhere, we can interact. So now I was like, yeah, what's your name? What do you do? Oh, very nice. If I can even say, so and so date, just come so and so, Bakam, this is the brother of so and so. I'm thinking, but then I felt probably it's because it's already in our mindset. That's why I'm saying, if you if you just change the narrative and tell them, see my dear, okay, it didn't work out with you, we can still be, show the open hand, friendship, that kind of way, to show that, see, it's cool. But then something how we said, nah, I don't want him, but he shall not prosper. You get my point? This is how it looks like.
But you said something from the beginning. We are living in a very stupid mind state. This is my friend, female and male, we are friends. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Male and female, this friendship that we're claiming is good fun. This is bullshit.
It depends.
Oh, it works. If there's no sex.
I think people should be using the term. It's someone I know.
It's a platonic friendship. Let's say platonic friendship. Don't call me like we are good friends.
No, I'm coming from the point of saying a grown-up man and a woman can have a platonic.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Platonic. Because
But that's still okay.
Yeah, it's somehow
cordial, but it's
exactly cordial. But it's not like
cordial.
you call me and you will go out to eat.
Oh, why not?
But it depends on
What are you trying to achieve? This is your friend.
Look, the problem is if there is an interest. It's not every woman, obviously, you see, you have an exchange with that becomes someone you're interested in, right? Mm-hmm. So as long as you're meeting someone and there is no sexual intention, no sexual attraction, you're able to build up a level of connection and maybe friendship.
Yeah.
From the moment there is sexual interest, that's when it becomes difficult. Or
obviously,
more than sexual interest,
obviously,
where one likes the other more. Now there is this disbalance.
But let's be honest.
It is also healthy because there are things and accesses it will give you that you don't get if you're just surrounded.
Okay, maybe I'm talking from a sense of
but
why? Because I have a sister, so I do not aim to have friendships with other women.
Yeah, they don't
That's
want
what,
friends.
if they think that my friends, that's on their side.
But can't you? But
Me, I
can't,
know your friend.
but can't you imagine that he can be a friend of your sister?
What
Okay,
was
sorry,
this?
sorry.
No. What is this?
I turn back. Desmond.
But actually, I'm one of the most solid guys a girl can have as friend.
I know, but why would you want to be friends with my sister?
Because I ain't doing shit.
Sisters
Because she's your
respect-
sister.
No,
Respect
but
already.
date her or don't date her, but don't be friends with my
Why
sister.
not?
She might not be his type. He might not be her type.
No,
Yeah, but like,
why didn't you say the way you wanted to say it? Why did you say it?
Because of the sex.
But this is
Because of the
It
sex.
will not be the type, but she has placed you in a box where you cannot get out of. I feel like women are the ones
Which
that,
is friendship.
yeah, women are the ones that control all this friendship thing.
Sex.
Me, I don't want to be your friend because if there might certain things happening, am I feeling emotionally weird?
But
But this is where maturity comes in place.
Of course,
You
maturity
have to
comes
see-
in place,
Look,
but-
you see the sexual appetite. I'm selling $1 million worth of game. See, your sexual appetite has to be controllable.
Yeah.
And that is why being around women, there are times we as guys, we need the feminine energy. We
Thank
need
you
the
very
woman
much.
around us.
Yeah.
Sometimes your friends can be that kind of energy you need without having that sexual energy involved. So being able to say, this is my friend, cool, we have conversations that I might not have with a guy.
No, I do agree with you guys, but I feel like we use this term too loosely.
Which term?
That we are friends. No,
But
we're not friends.
that's in general. See,
Yeah, but that's nonsense.
That's in general.
You and
Until
I are
you
not
get to an
friends.
age where you're able to be like, oh, if you're trying to make a point, oh, that is an acquaintance.
Yeah, but like but what I'm trying to say is that you and I are not friends because obviously the way that you look, I would actually be attracted to you, but you're not
Oh,
even
I
giving me a
get- I
chance.
get what he's-
And
I
now
get-
I'm just using this
I
term
get
like
what he's saying.
we are just friends.
But I
But
get.
That's why me as a man, I'm saying that
Therefore,
I'm
you're
not
saying-
friends.
I get what
I'm
you're
not
The
friends.
reason why I see that way is because I don't roll that way.
Yeah,
if I want you and I can't get you, I don't need you additionally in my life.
That's
But that's what he's saying. But he's
That's
going.
what you're saying.
He's
I thought you're saying that man and woman can't be friends.
But he's already going for the women that he finds attractive. They cannot be his
okay.
friends. We didn't speak about attraction. We were just mainly saying that
that
there's this.
is what I was saying.
Because the thing is the same. Because let's just go back and think about you found somebody whom you like. You date. You do the proper dating that we know, dating and courtship and everything. Won't you become friends?
Of course.
Good. Then the friendship will now become more, right?
Yeah.
So actually, you need friendship to have more chance to have something long.
No.
I'm coming. This is why I'm saying it like this because I'm not saying that friendship the way it is. But I'm saying that if you don't have way to have female friends, no matter forget that they're attractive, then how will you know that this girl that you're dating
You prefer the
is also a
attractive
friend?
ones.
No, I know. What I'm saying that how do you know this is my friend without having had a friend before? That's what I'm trying to say. And if you categorically say no, a woman cannot be my friend, then you will never really be sure how friendship with a woman looks like. That's what I'm trying to say.
But I don't want to.
But your partner will be your friend. How you cannot compare the friendship with your partner
that's my
with
wife.
yeah, but you cannot compare
My
the
wife,
friendship
I
with
do
the male. You
worse
cannot
with.
compare the male friendship.
That's a fantastic friend.
But you cannot compare the male friendship with the female friendship. That's what I'm trying to say.
Exactly, but
And if you don't know how to be friends with a woman,
Oh, but you will be able to differentiate. Yeah, and you will be able to say, oh, this is a friend now. Irregardless.
yeah, but you won't be doing the same things.
irrespective
But you can't
of
do the same things with the guy.
True, but
You can't be
irrespective of
burping
having,
and
because
there's things we do.
instinctively you are able to differentiate.
Of course,
This-
yes.
I do certain things with a girl. I do certain things with a guy.
Yeah, but-
right. But now, most things you could do with a guy, you can't do with a girl.
Yeah.
Right? You can't or you
You
can't.
can. You will be able.
Yeah.
You can have conversations, maybe not the same, but you can have conversations. You can go out to eat. You can go out for sports. You can go out for events. You can spend reasonable time, exchange ideas, business plans. There are so many things you can do.
Yeah, but like working colleagues, that you can have a working colleague, female, that you get along well at work, and now you have coffee. Both of you can already decide that.
well, that's a forced friendship.
Why is it forced?
No, continue.
You have the coffee,
Working
you sit
friendship.
down, then you find out that after 5-6 years, she becomes a companion, a friend. Yeah. Now I do think there's maybe a small junction where it can become more, but if you pass that junction, it will never happen unless you're lonely, horny.
Well, that's on your side as a man.
I'm just saying for my side, yeah, but unless you're lonely, horny, desperate, this has to happen. Then that's not junction. That's now like a bush, like a small. But normally, if you say no, me and her have been running collegially, friendly. But because of the years now, we have become, because I've now met her husband, I've now met her kids, whatever. I met her family now, and there's no spark again. You get my point? That's what I'm saying. Because I only see that spark that he's probably. I understand what he's saying, but I think if I see something that I'm attracted to her, that's already cancels friendship. You get me?
At that moment.
At that moment, because like you said, there's sexual interest. But if I see something there's no interest,
You can be friends.
I think friendship can grow.
At least you can get to know each other.
Exactly,
And then
you get to know each
develop.
other before you know it. Now she's a
can
friend.
become
You
something.
can
So
call her.
how do you start a friendship with someone that
You know,
you're not interested in?
I had
Sexually,
I had
are
many-
you
I had-
interested
I
in a guy sexually?
I had
It's just the vibes. It's
And
different.
that's
You
the
can't,
same
no,
thing.
you can't compare. You can't compare. I understand
I
what
had
my
many
wife is
female
saying
fri-
totally.
I know, yeah, but I have many female friends because I wasn't able to date Austrian girls.
But there's a question out for you then. Why? Because we are going from the standpoint that the spark comes from the beginning. But
Yeah.
actually, the spark might come later. What do you
Exactly,
think?
it might come later.
but-
If the spark comes later, then it's cool. Do the best
The
out of
why
it.
Thank you.
See,
Thank
don't
you.
be ashamed.
I fell in love
No,
with
no,
her.
no.
Look, this is the
It's
thing.
not- it's not-
Don't be ashamed.
Thank
This
you.
game is
Yeah.
ice cold.
Thank you, yeah.
Go if you have been friends with her, you start liking her,
It's
and
not.
she sees something in you.
Perfect.
Why are you holding yourself back?
Bang.
That's fucked narrative. Like, oh, because we're friends, and
That's it.
that's a reason more.
You see, exactly that's what I'm trying to say. That it's weird for me that men are out here, like focusing on friendship.
You mean single men or
This is to build something.
You mean
Build
single
something.
No,
What did you
you
say?
mean single men or men that are in
That's what
relationships?
relationship.
No.
Men in relationship
No,
or
if
single.
I'm interested
But is
in
it
a
single
woman-
men or men in relationship? That's important. If it's single men, then what he said is already balancing the question. But if it's married men, I get what you're saying.
Married men there.
I get what you're saying, but if it's not married men, it should be very simple. She could become something later, because that's the thing about men.
That's
That's
cool,
the thing.
that's
That's the thing about men. Yeah, men might have a certain preference and taste, but we don't know if it's based on what is watching, on
Whatever, yeah.
Thank you. So before you know it now, something that he might never went for directly becomes interesting because of the character, attitude, and trust me, these are the most important things. You can only count yourself lucky if you found someone attractive and she has those things. She ticks those boxes. Because you know that's why I think
Thank God you what?
that's why.
Don't worry.
Yeah, what?
Don't do that.
But you.
I said thank God I'm blessed actually.
Oh wow.
But that's why when he said something about can those girls give her brother 3 friends, because I won't say most, but some girls don't have those friends that are actually ticking some certain boxes for somebody who's really into relationships. That's why I think, that's the only reason why I think, especially in our, when we say, it's in our black bracket there, I'm just saying from what I'm seeing, yeah. I unfortunately, I'm not players, I don't know women that have healthier friends, that she cannot let her brother, because they went to so and so and they did so on. You get my point, yeah. But then the question is still, why then doesn't she allow him to, that's something where I say it's character based on the
Greedy.
But I do think if you meet somebody, you're single, she's single, and you're just friends at first because of whatsoever, you might not like your Nike shoes, you might not like, but with time, because don't forget, yeah, you don't have access to women for a reason. You have to find out what the reason is. In my case, you already said it. But then suddenly this friend becomes somebody where like, you're the right age, this is the right time.
I beg to differ. Sorry. The statement that you just made gave that there is a reason why you can't find a woman can be misleading.
Okay.
You have to put it in the proper way, word-wise, because this is in the internet.
Okay.
People are vicious out here,
They'll cast
right?
you.
So, the point is, you don't have issues meeting women, finding women.
No, never
The
had.
point you're trying to make is someone for something with longevity. Yes.
Yes, of course.
Yes,
I was,
that's the point.
I was going from the last outing I went to, but yeah, the thing is this.
Because
Yeah.
this statement,
I know what you're saying.
people be like,
No, the statement was I was just referring to what Desmond said. We as blacks like to cancel each other for petty reasons. Like, I want to say like something like, he's too short, she's too fat. Of course, it's something that matters, but sometimes things have to have context. When somebody is fat, let me use the word fat now. The person can be great. Yeah. When somebody is short, of course, it's something they can't do much. But the question is, what does short mean? Are you that tall?
Small but mighty.
Because sometimes we use this shallow attributes to stigmatize somebody, because he might not be interesting for you because he's not the height you want. Your friend might find him cute. So why must it only be you that has to like him? That's what I'm saying. Of course, with that, you cannot have within the black space, although we have, because we are brothers and sisters, that friendship. But actually, let me say it in a different way. We see so many other ethnic groups that we are cool with, hooking each other up in all sorts of forms, be it business-wise, be it whatever. We then, Prince, because you have watched him on the podcast, or you see him going to the stadium. Now, he must not be your type. You know that this friend that is not going to club or doing whatsoever is having it more difficult because he's not going to club, he's not going to outing. Now you see Prince. You can create a situation, because what I hate is this, okay, Prince, I have a friend for you. No, create a situation where they might meet each other and then see what happens.
Like Prince
whatever.
did.
But the thing is, we now decide for a friend, okay, this Desmond must go with. No. If Desmond hit on you, the question was, let me give you a different angle. One girl once told me, she doesn't like men that hit on her. I'm like, okay. As I asked her, what were you wearing that day? Or what are you wearing when
It's about to get
Wait,
dangerous
when you
now.
say that, be specific and graphic.
So now she was saying me, what do you mean? I not told her, I personally, from my experience, know that when ladies go out, depending on the setup, they try to dress to make a statement. So what was your statement? And if your statement was, wow, you look good. No, just wow, you look good. Now somebody's telling you you're looking good in his way. Wasn't that what you were looking for?
Sweet.
In saying that, if he even says, of course, it matters how somebody's, but then there's a narrative where women will tell you, this guy is so hot, I don't care what he tells me. He just has to say something. So but at the end of the day, you dressed up. I'm not saying that's why he should come and grab you, but definitely, if it's the right guy, you wouldn't mind. Well, before the right guy comes, obviously others will at least acknowledge what you're wearing. Of course, also there's something we call the atmosphere, and there's something we call a courtesy. But that also comes from being more communicative with each other. Because if a woman doesn't tell the guy that is rude to her that he's rude, how will you learn? And if she cannot tell him because he's too aggressive, that comes in. You don't allow friends. Like Desmond, like F1, like Prince, like Topwell, like Maiwa to be at least, they're not your type, but at least let them know that.
Oh, I'm saying, give me a chance.
Let them know that, okay, you're not my type, but we can still be acquaintances. Instead, they'll just say, I don't know. So you get my point. So then when something happens, you cannot ask Maiwa to come and make sure that the guy respects himself. That's what I'm trying to say. So you see, this is why I'm now saying, this is where the dysfunction comes in within the space where we say black.
Pretty profound what you just tried to do there. I see it, but yeah.
But the next thing we will also ask ourselves, because we are living also with the scarce black community, could we actually date women that have a history?
It's a good question.
Like we have to do it on both sides now.
Okay.
No, because
it's a good
for
question.
me as a man, I'm just like, okay, I tried it with you, didn't work. At least give me your sister.
By the way,
Just to make it extreme. Or your friend. So now let's reverse the question. We are tapping into your feminine energy, like you said beforehand. So you get.
I didn't say I'm tapping into my feminine
So you
energy.
get.
I don't get.
So she has something runnings with Desmond. Did not work.
Yeah.
Desmond with runnings with Prince. It did not work. I am the eligible bachelor actually.
For her. Fantastic.
Should I? Can I?
That is
Would
up
I?
to you. But if you ask me,
Okay, would you?
with Desmond and Prince, for example,
Yeah.
I'll have to know if they're close to me. It creates one scenario,
Yeah.
right? Or a pathway that I could go for. If they're not close to me, another pathway.
Exactly.
Now, if they're close to me, what do I know about these guys? Do they destroy women? It sounds silly. This is a conversation I had 3 days ago
This one
with some
destroy.
homeboys.
What's up with tea?
We had food and drinks, and we're having conversations about
The
this.
soul.
And if I know that this guy
Mention your
will,
name too. Why are you pinpointing me? You're mad.
and if I know that these guys will leave this girl damaged, right? Or he must have damaged her in a certain way because of the kind of personality he has, then I choose not to overly get involved with her, because I know that there will be a lot of fixing, right? But if I know that, oh, this guy is a stand-up guy, that, yeah, there might have been differences in their whatever they had going, I could be like, okay, yeah, they had whatever going, it's reasonable, I can kick it with her. But you have to be careful not to put certain things too much in certain boxes. Because there are some boxes you put things in, your mindset-wise. That's why some girls haven't found anyone and some brothers haven't found any girl. Because at a certain time, they place that certain person too much in a box, that the time that this thing could have become something, or that there was like a little bit of mutual interest, nah, we're too cool. Nah, she used to be with that homeboy.
I hate that shit.
Yes, she used to be. But so I understand that you don't want to shit where you eat, or I mean where someone you get me, you are mindful of how you move, but still, if, as you said, you're eligible to that, person, it makes sense. Okay, let's talk about it. I think you're cool, you like me.
But with those guys, it's different. Actually, because we don't.
Definitely.
Care.
How don't you care?
I think I don't. I thought we said something.
We're talking about relations.
Sorry to cut you.
We know
Exactly, cleaning mouth. Many of us clean mouth codedly. Quick. I know how many guys have piped their ex, that they are solid homeboys, girls, codedly.
Because the issue is because
Yeah. And I was like, what?
friendship.
So if it's just cleaning mouths, the rules are different.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not supposed to be, but the rules are different. But now, the girl that he was so invested in, you are now, even though it's 6 years, it's 4 years ago, there is this tiny attachment that you don't see anymore. But if he sees her, he knows how he poses around her.
Like, for example, if I have someone and they're interested in her, and I don't have any attachment to her anymore, that means I'm not interested.
Yeah.
I'm over her. Me, I don't mind saying like
You might be over her because you have damaged her. But is she completely over you?
I won't care about it. That's your own problem at the end of the day.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
And I don't
probably
want
don't
more
want to
problem.
have
And there are problems I don't want to have.
Yeah, but I also think it now goes down to, because I want us also to consider that we also have it's not an obligation, but it's also important for us to, like you said, differentiate what we are doing with whom. For instance, if I date somebody, a relationship comes out of it. Best case scenario is it didn't work out, unfortunately. We get over it, we move. And if now a dear friend, that's the only thing now where I'm not sure how it can work, if it's my day-to-day, because once something's over, depending on how it's over, you might not want to have contact anymore with the person for whatever reason, or the person becomes a friend. Yeah, because I have also have exes that are my friends, and they're married now. So, but it's not a friendship that how are you doing? But it's like when we see, we can have a drink. If let's say she wasn't married and she just lives in a different city, she comes back and now someone's like, who is she? I can be okay, yeah, so and so, but can't necessarily be somebody who I have my day-to-day with just because she's no more in my life like that. You get me? That is where I think the conversation would start with me. But the other thing is, how do we leave these women after we date and are with them? I think it's also important because, like F4 said, if you end up being toxic and she's angry, but why would your friend date her again? Or anybody else for that matter. So I think it's also important that we have an obligation to, when we are serious about something, we have to make sure that we consider that, okay, it doesn't work for me, but gentlemanly, I just say, you know what's cool. I'm out. If she now starts screaming and shouting, must I retaliate? You get my point? Because, like you said, how damaged will she then be, and how damaged you then be for the next person? That's also something that only the two that are involved can figure out. Because often, I know guys that tell me after they break up, they delete the picture and do all sorts of things. I'm like, okay, but it always sounds like
It's madness.
you're angry when
Actually, I'm not over it actually.
yeah, exactly. And you just break it up because of disagreement. And I'm thinking in that case, no friend should go there. Yeah, but it also, the question is, what was the man able to? I think Efo said something once that the man always has the possibility more, where because of the emotion, where he can just say, okay, you know what, I will just care not to respond now because I know later on you will get why I didn't respond. Than just responding because he wants to show her now that he's as stubborn as she. Not saying that all women are stubborn, but you know what I mean when it comes to emotions.
All of them. Why are we trying to be political correct?
But actually, it's to me it's baffling because many women will tell me confidently that men are so and so. They either be it a dating app or whatever, and I'm thinking if it's the case, look around you. But that's what I'm saying. It's often women that we say, for whatever reason it is, that no, that is something else, or I can't tell her to date the guy that I don't want to date. I'm like, that's not your business.
But going forward now, just to round this up,
Yeah.
going forward, how can we improve the dating scene in our community? Because we need to create families. I see so many baby mamas out there. Come
Bob
on.
Marley said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery, right? One.
Yeah.
Number two, I think Bob Marley also said it's only a fool that is thirsty on the ground full of water.
Yeah.
I read it many years ago in English literature as well. So now what is there is that look around you, ask yourself, who could be there that I have actually been underrating or that I didn't reason this person to be good enough for me? Or who was it that I thought is too good for me? And am I willing to put in the work? Nowadays, we are so fucking scared of putting in the work. There's only some few people will be like, okay, you know what? I actually noticed maybe I might have to change to fit with this person.
Can
Now
I have
everybody,
one real quick? Can I have one real quick?
Yeah.
Like, who do you think you know but you don't really know?
good one also.
Or who do you think you know but you've never actually have a
Conversation
with?
where you hear that people speak positively about that person, right?
Yeah.
Now, shooting your shot is not by I look at him, smile. You get me?
I like 4 pictures.
So now you realize, okay, maybe there are people around me that I actually never paid attention to, that maybe tried in some shy, maybe very sharp way, making their moves, and I turned them down. Give it that kind of look. Then you realize, oh, I think there are way more options out there than I actually ever realized.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Exactly.
That can make such a big difference. Like not underrating people around you. And as I said, putting in the work. See, you will meet some women, the way they will ginger you, you feel stressed at the beginning, like, she's pissing me off actually. You're still sleeping so early, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
In her way, she might have the potentials to be a high achiever, to be a high achiever. And now she can transfer a part of that to you. Likewise, a man can do the same to a girl, right?
Amen.
So now, being able to say, you know what, I'm not all that, because most of us aren't all that yet, right? And okay, I'm willing to put the work. So this guy might stress me, because there are certain things, ideas he has that actually don't work with my way of thinking. But maybe if I listen to him long enough to understand what he's trying to say, it might make sense. And now if you realize that it makes sense, you have grown. And now something that couldn't work can work. But now we're in this microwave society where nobody wants to put the work because you're being taught that, oh, you have to own your imperfections. No, if you are doing something wrong, you are supposed to deviate from the wrongdoings. Or if you don't know things, you're supposed to learn more, right? That is why you have personal or self-development.
I think one very important thing we need to learn about it is it's okay being rejected. That's a
Yeah.
But
very
that's
important-
normal for most guys.
For
I don't think so
it's
anymore.
normal
I don't
for
think
the
so
guys
anymore.
that are
Confident.
able to
And
approach
it's not
any girl
confident,
now.
it hurts.
Because
confidence,
I've noticed and I've seen that there are guys, because they haven't been rejected, they're scared of being rejected.
There is nobody that hasn't been rejected.
There are guys, they're not because they haven't made the approach.
No, it's because how
Yeah.
they, it's because
That
how
means
they,
they are overly
because how they
confident.
make their approach is maybe because there's a certain approach where because I think it's even easier. There's some guys that they're always giggling or smiling when somebody shoots a shot and he misses, and that's when you know that this is the guy that probably is using different that cheap, let me say, that easy approach where he might just ask her, "Let's switch places."
Yeah.
Then depending on how she responds, he knows, okay, if I ask her more than I'll be there.
But that's game.
So you can
That's game because that is
Yeah,
what
but
works for him.
But if no,
That's his thing.
if he then gets an answer, depending on what the answer is, he continues. He doesn't see that's rejection, so it's not.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying because
Yeah.
everybody sees rejection differently. Because there's some men that we just. I used to be very direct, and I used to say that, okay, she's not interested, but at least I knew that I'll still get a smile from it. So I know she said no, but I also know that I can now think it's cool, you know. That's what I'm saying. It's cool, like, okay, let me say it a different way.
Imagine
Why is
what-
it a bad thing if you like something and there's, it doesn't reciprocate? That, why is it a bad thing? It's not a bad thing. She's still going to be attractive. It's just that she might not feel your vibe. That doesn't mean that she's rejecting. It's just like she doesn't feel your vibe at that moment.
Which is
That's why-
still rejection.
It is, but Aliyah said it. Try again. Because sometimes. if
Oh
you-
no, nowadays we don't wait to try again because now you just become a body in her closet that, oh, he wants me too.
I think if you're confident about
No, I shoot my shot. If I'm not of interest, I keep it moving, keep it stepping, player.
Yeah, but I just also think if you know that.
What are you no, honestly, big bro, what are you waiting for?
Wait a
Why
minute.
no, as in why are you trying to reshoot your shot? So you
It
want her
depends
to
on the
retweet
situation.
you?
I'm saying if it depends on if I see her in a situation where like this, if I'm really interested in her, really, there's really an interest.
Yeah.
And maybe the first attempt was
That's called nötigung in Deutsch.
obviously
I said no.
we're not talking-
It depends on the rejection, though.
Thank you. So I'm saying it depends on how she.
There's this.
I'm not saying that when she's telling me to
You
get
feel like, okay,
give
this
up.
girl wants you to work harder.
You know how you do
Oh.
it.
No, I'm just saying. I've watched movies. I've seen Jamaica like running after girls, and at the end of the day, gets in the girl.
No, I think
You know?
it's the way she
he was
responds
a rude
to your approach. Is what I'm saying. And if you see that, okay, it wasn't but you saw that she was still touched a bit. That's what I'm saying. Under no circumstance she could answer, but I'm not saying the one that calls the police on you. No. I'm saying, of course, if you see that she smiles back, you go there, you say something, and she's like, because a woman with class, I would say with class, kind of will see your game, or we see that, okay, this guy is handsome, but still she will not like just totally reject you. These women, there are women that do that, often are the insecure women, because I think there is no rejection in that sense. I think it's just meow and then, depending on what you ask. So depending on how you
That's
approach
not rejection
her,
for me.
you can get an answer. Maybe if you like, okay, let me go and say something, maybe addressing how she looks. She now says thank you, and then you see that, okay, she's not pushing forward, you step aside. But yet you know that now you kind of know her. Next time you see her, you can say, you remember me from last time? That's what I'm saying, to try again. I'm not saying she's telling you to, my friend, or she's doing like this when you're talking to her, No, this is... I'm just talking about those normal cases scenario. That's why those guys that often say they haven't been rejected is based on how they approach, and some approach really in a
There
very...
is no guy that hasn't
that's
been rejected.
bullshit.
I know there is no guy, but it depends on how they approach and how they see
It's a
it.
woman that can say, anyway.
The mouth is thinking that anybody that says I've never been rejected. But on that note, I just wanted to end it with I think all boils down to creating a black family. That's what it is. Anything that we want to build comes from a proper structure.
Yeah.
The things we have to deal in life with comes from a proper structure. If you have a family, if you have a mom and a dad, you can go a long way. So for us to create a betterment for ourselves, for our community, we need to create families.
Yes.
But if this girl don't give me a chance, I have to marry a white woman. Thank
Straight
you.
up. That see, forget them.
Thank you.
Switch.
Thank you. On point.
On point.
On point. On point.